Alright, so look at this one here. I'm going to help some of you students out that were having trouble with this homework assignment. Okay, so of course you need a ruler. Okay, you also need to know the scale. So it says determine the actual distance between each pair of locations in Texas. Well, the scale is given to you. It's right there. Okay, that's the scale right there. Okay, so we can figure out the distance from Houston to San Antonio by measuring according to this. 1 centimeter, so equals 40 miles, so we're going to use centimeters. And so I'm going to measure San Antonio, from San Antonio to Houston. Go from Houston to San Antonio, sorry. And it's about, más o menos, we'll say about 4.5, más o menos, 4.5. And I'll round up, 4.3, 4.4. Okay, so it's about 4.5 centimeters. Okay, sorry, 4.5 centimeters. So 4.5 centimeters. But we need to know the actual distance. So the actual in the real world. So you need to set up a proportion. Well, 1 centimeter. So put 1 centimeter is the same as 40 miles. So one centimeter is 40 miles. We can set up a proportion. Remember this word proportion. Two ratios. An equation with two ratios that you cross multiply to solve. Okay, so that's one ratio. Well, the other ratio will, if it's 4.5 centimeters, that means centimeters goes on top because I put centimeters on top, so 4.5 centimeters. When we don't know something, we put x. And so we cross multiply, and 40 times 4.5, I'm just going to make sure I got this correct. In centimeters, yeah, 4.5, okay. That's one, 4.5. And so we cross multiply and I get 1 times x is x. Well, 40 times 4.5, I'll do it over here. 4.5 times 40, 0, and then plus 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2 is 18. One number to the right of the decimal. And so that means x is 180. 180 what? Well, because the x is at the bottom, 180 miles. Okay. This is the answer. Okay, 180 miles. Okay, so now they want to know the distance from Austin to Victoria. So we're going to get from Austin to Victoria, measured in centimeters first. And from Austin to Victoria, make sure I have centimeters. I'm doing it in millimeters because then I'm going to get the wrong answer. Let me try this one. Okay, yeah, it is 2.5, about 2.5 here. So about 2.5 centimeters. Okay, 2.5 centimeters. Sorry, 2.5 centimeters. And so again, we're going to use the scale. 1 centimeter. No, 1 centimeter is the same as 40 miles. Well, 2.5 centimeters, that means 2.5 centimeters, that means 2.5 goes on top because we're talking about centimeters on top. And then we put x, and then we cross multiply. I didn't finish it, you finish it. Go to this one here. Okay, look, it's giving you a scale. It's right there, that's a scale right there. Whenever you see the word scale, think of this word, think of proportion. I'm gonna have to make a proportion to solve the problem. Okay, a fuerzas, you need one. So you need a proportion. So first, we're comparing inches to feet. 1.5, well, let's make it a decimal, 0.5 is the same as 1 foot. Okay, so where does this other number go? If it's feet, well, inches on top, feet at the bottom, so it's 14.5. And then we put x. Cross multiply and you get the answer. You finish it. And finish the answer. It's not the answer, finish it. Here, This is your scale factor. I'm sorry, your scale. 1 inch, digo, inches to feet. 2 inches is the same as 15 feet. Where does this go? 87 feet. Inches across this way, feet across this way. So if it's feet, that means it goes to the bottom. X, cross multiply. Here you're gonna have to do cross multiply 15 times x, 15x, and then multiply 87 times 2, 174. You're not finished because the x has a variable, x has a coefficient in the front, so we need to have it isolate for x. This is multiplication. What's the inverse of multiplication? Division. You divide by whatever is there. So now x is by itself because 15 over 15 is just 1. And so now you use your strategy of T-bow. Okay, top in, bottom out. 174 divided by 15. Whatever you get is your answer. Figure it out. The last one here, a model of an apartment is shown where 1/4 inch represents 3 feet. This is your scale because it represents in math means equals. So I'm going to write 1/4 inch equals 3 feet. Okay, so a model of an apartment is shown where 1/4 inch represents 3 feet in the actual apartment. Determine the actual area of the master bedroom. So, do we really need the whole figure? Do we know everything? No, we don't need everything. We just need the master bedroom, which is this guy. Okay, so we need that guy. We know that we're comparing inches and feet. We know that because we have a scale, we need to have a proportion to solve this problem. So inches and feet, 0.25, because 1/4 is in decimal from 25. It's the same as 3 feet. Well, I need to convert this guy and this guy to feet. And so I need to make a proportion. So this is 1 inch. So where does the 1 go? Well, if it's inches on top, goes here. What do I put here? X? Or do I put this? Well, this is what? 0.75? But you can see it's inches. Okay? Inches. So 0.75 inches. Well, inches doesn't go here because it's inches over feet. So here you put an X. Cross multiply. And then you'll get the answer to this one. Well, you still need this one. So you're gonna, get the answer to this one by doing this. You still need to figure this one in feet. So you have to make another proportion. Inches over feet again. Use the same ratio that you know. 0.25 is to 3. And now you put this one, 0.75 inches. 0.75 inches goes here. And then you put an X. And why on top? Because inches is on top. Feet is at the bottom. And then figure it out. You can solve the rest. I'm not going to do it for you. Hopefully this has helped you. Bye-bye.